Some time back, I received in the name of our country the bodies of 4 Marines who had died while on active duty. I said then that there is a special sadness that accompanies the death of a serviceman, for we're never quite good enough to them. Not really, we can't be, because what they gave us is beyond our powers to repay. And so when a serviceman dies, it's a tear in the fabric, a break in the whole, and all we can do is remember. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise. We see them as something like the founding fathers, grave and gray-haired. But most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up 2 lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. We owe them a debt we can never repay. All we can do is remember them and what they did and why they had to be brave for us.
please join me in recognizing the talents of our Kelly Walsh Band led by Mr. Brent Rose and Mrs. Sarah Hansen. At this time, I ask you to stand or to continue to stand. Remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem by our Kelly Walsh Combined Choirs led by Miss Katrina Rooney and the Kelly Walsh Chamber Orchestra led by Mr. Gary DiPaolo. The colors are presented by the Kelly Walsh High School Marine Corps JROTC Color Guard. The Color Guard will be commanded by Cadet Second Lieutenant Tiana Montgomery with Color Guard members Cadet Second Lieutenant Peyton Raffensperger, Cadet Second Lieutenant Corey Kaufman, and Cadet First Lieutenant Matthew Harvey. Please remain standing until the colors have been retired. At this time, please welcome yet again the Kelly Walsh Combined Choirs as conducted by Miss Katrina Rooney and our Kelly Walsh Chamber Orchestra as conducted by Mr. Gary DiPaolo.
Where the lights don't move and the colors don't fade. Tears you run through is nothing but pain. In a world gone shallow, in a world gone lame. Sometimes the things that we do not know. Leaves won't turn and the leaves won't grow. No place to run and no gasoline. Engine won't turn and the train won't leave. Engine won't turn and the train won't leave. I will stay with you tonight. Hold you close till the morning light. In the morning watch a new day rise. I'll do whatever just to stay alive. We'll do whatever just to stay alive. Well, the way I feel is the way I write. It isn't like the thoughts of a man who dies. There is a truth and it's all nothing but dreams. In a world gone shallow, in a world gone mean. There is a truth and it's on our side. Dawn is coming, open your eyes. Look into the sun as the new days rise.
One more round of applause for our chamber orchestra and combined choirs. Parents, grandparents, guardians, faculty, honored guests, and most importantly, members of the Kelly Walsh High School Class of 21, I am honored to welcome you to the 55th commencement ceremonies for Kelly Walsh High School for this class, the Kelly Walsh High School Trojans Class of 2021. We are grateful that you could celebrate with us, whether it be here or online. Thank you to the Natrona County School District Community Relations team for the Memorial Day video at the beginning of this ceremony. With Memorial Day to be celebrated this coming weekend, my thoughts are with the many in attendance tonight who are veterans or active servicemen and women. If you are a retired, active, or recently or soon to be enlisted in the armed forces, will you please stand and enjoy the recognition you've earned and deserve. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite introduce the following dignitaries who are with us tonight. Please stand when I call your name. Michael Jennings, Superintendent. Verba Eccles, Associate Superintendent. Stephen L. Bogan, Executive Director. Dr. Charlotte Gilbar, Executive Director and mom of a graduate. Angela Hensley, Executive Director. Board Chair, Raymond Cavalier. And the following trustees, Dr. Clark Jensen, Dave Applegate, Rita Walsh, Kyla Alvey, Debbie McCullough, and Kiana Smith. And our very hardworking American Sign Language interpreters tonight, Braden Mason and Kim Holman. The Kelly Walsh High School retiring class of 2021 will be completing the careers in a few short days. Please join me in recognizing Alice Houston, Sue Carlson, and Deb Slunsker. Thank you for your service, congratulations, and enjoy the life of retirement, folks. I would also like to recognize the group of people who are behind the scenes and made tonight happen. This group contains 3 rookies and an administrator with a solid 1 year of experience of organizing a normal graduation ceremony prior to tonight. So please give a round of applause to John Sheep, AJ Nathan, Stephanie Schaefer, Wayne Tuttle, Kelly Deacon, and Christy Wood for going through the graduation Bible left by Nancy Searcy so we could have a successful ceremony tonight. honored and humbled to be standing here as a principal of my alma mater. I'm not shy about the fact that I'm lucky enough to have been part of several Kelly Walsh graduations in many roles. As a graduate, a friend, an uncle, a principal, and most importantly as a dad. In each of those ceremonies, I heard a version of the following guest pep talk from my predecessor, the legendary Mr. Brad Dillard. So here goes. For many of our kids, this will be the first of several graduations, but it will be their only high school graduation. For some of them, this will be their first and last graduation. For more than a couple tonight, it will mark the first time anyone in their family has graduated from high school. So please, when you feel the need to blow an air horn, remember that all of these Trojans have worked hard to be here, and all these families deserve the opportunity to hear their student's name recognized. Let's keep the focus on our students and not on you. Tonight, one person will be the first across the stage, and one Trojan will be the last. They are all important to us and to someone else, so thank you for your consideration for that. For a few of our graduates, their drive and commitment to academic excellence have yielded amazing results. Their efforts have earned them a place on this stage to address their classmates, family, and friends. Tonight we have 2 salutatorians and 1 valedictorian. At this time, please help me in welcoming the first of 2 salutatorians, Mr. Carver Bray, to the stage.
Thank you, Mr. Britt. Thank you to all the teachers that helped all of us students get here. And thank you to all the wonderful people who work behind the scenes at school to make it all run smoothly. Let's start with the beginning. Thank you to Mr. Britt. Thank you to all the teachers that have helped all of us students get here. And thank you to all the wonderful people who work behind the scenes at school to make it all run smoothly. And thank you to family and friends who could make it out to this graduation ceremony. It really means a lot to all of us. Hello everyone, my name is Carver Bray, and I'm one of 2 salutatorians for the Kelly Walsh graduating class of 2021. I'd like to start off by saying that this year has certainly been a wild ride with lots of ups and downs, but I'm glad to see all of us here at the end of that ride doing well. It's been a strange year due to COVID-19, but throughout it all we've managed to make it through thanks to the efforts of everyone here, our fellow students, our teachers, our friends, and our families. If I'm being honest, I wasn't expecting to make the speech today. I was expecting to be sitting with my classmates, looking up at someone else making the speech and thinking, wow, I sure am glad I'm not the one speaking in front of all these people. But what we expect to happen isn't always what we get. And I think that very plainly explains my experience with high school. That first year of high school is full of expectations being shattered and dreams not quite going the way we thought they would, much like during our childhood. When I was about 9 years old, I went to Disneyland for the first time with my family. It was a wonderful, and dare I say it, magical experience. It was also the first time I ever rode a roller coaster. Nowadays, roller coasters are one of my favorite things. I would absolutely never give up the chance to ride one. But 9-year-old me would think I was insane. The fear I had of them was, quite frankly, ridiculous. It's embarrassing to say it, but I was that kid who was crying in the line for the roller coaster, berating everyone's ears with my whining. Every fiber of my body yelled, "Don't get on," and I made sure to let everyone know. I fully expected to get on that roller coaster and die from shock, but, wouldn't you know it, I didn't die, and it turned into one of my favorite things. High school is a lot like a roller coaster, with all of its twists and turns and the excitement and stress that comes with it. The first day of school is always a rough one. The first day of high school, an especially stressful one. But the nervousness I felt on my first day of high school completely melted away by the end of the week. My idea of what high school was going to be was entirely wrong. My expectations all blown out of the water. All the ideas of strict teachers, constant bullying, and stressful work put into our heads by movies and books turned out to be wrong. The work put in by the teachers and the rest of the faculty to help us all adjust to high school was incredibly helpful. Expectations are a large part of school. Teachers' expectations for the students, expectations of what grades we'll get, expectations to do well in school, expectations of the friends we'll meet, expectations of what grade I was going to get on that test I completely forgot to study for. We all slowly grew to know how to meet these expectations and sometimes even surpass them. As this chapter of my life comes to a close, I'm excited to see what the next one is going to bring. To everyone going to college, university, heading off to the military, or going straight into the workforce, I wish you all good luck. We've all made it here to graduation, so I'm confident that we can continue to keep accomplishing our goals and following our dreams. Whatever expectations you have for what your life is going to look like, be sure to venture forth with an open mind, knowing that the world might have other plans for you. Thank you.
At this time, if our next salutatorian, Ms. Samantha Bothier, will come to the stage.
For those of you who know me, cross-country skiing, the type of skiing where you go up the hills, is something that I've been very passionate about these last 4 years. Cross-country skiing is a very individual sport, but there are so many things that would not be possible without the teammates, coaches, and fans that support you. I would like to share a quote from Jessie Diggins, a professional cross-country skier who is very inspirational to me. This quote was taken from one of Diggins' blog posts, and it was written shortly after the 2018 Winter Olympic Games ended. During the Games, Jessie Diggins and her teammate, Keegan Randall, made history during the team sprint by becoming the first Nordic skiers from the United States to ever win a gold medal. Diggins says, "We've always said that any medal we win, whether it's a team event or an individual one, would belong to the entire team, because nobody ever accomplishes anything alone in life. I know my teammates have my back the way I have theirs, and it's ridiculous that the medal stand isn't large enough to bring up all the people that should be up there with us." I really like this quotation because I think that it emphasizes just how important a combined team effort is in anything that you do in life, even those things that seem like individual accomplishments. So as we look back on the last 4 years, let us take time to acknowledge all of our successes and our struggles, our high points and our low points, our accomplishments and our challenges, the good times and the bad times, and even our pre-pandemic lives and our post-pandemic lives. It is not only important to recognize how far we have come since our very first days of high school, but also to remember all of the people who have helped us get to this point. Whether you have competed in team sports or individual sports, been a member of the dance team or the cheer team, played in the band or sang in the choir, participated in theater or speech and debate, joined a club or even started a new club, gotten a job or taken care of your family, whatever it is that you have done or been a part of, you could not have done it without a team to support you. So tonight, as we celebrate the closing of one chapter in our lives and the beginning of a new one, make sure you take time to look around and appreciate everyone who has helped you get here. I would like to thank all of my family, friends, teammates, teachers, coaches, and Kelly Walsh as a whole. I would not be on this stage tonight without them. I encourage all of you to take time to thank your family, your friends, your teachers, your counselors, your coaches, and anyone else who has been supportive in your high school journey. And I would also like to encourage you to be great team players in the future because we accomplish so much more when we work together. Now, I would like to end with 2 quotes. The first one is, "It's not where you are in life, it's who you have by your side that matters." And the second is one that I think is good advice as we look towards the future. In the words of Ferris Bueller, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." So take time to savor this moment and to say thank you. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Finally, it gives me great pleasure to ask our valedictorian, Mr. Connor Thorpen, to come up and share his valedictorian address.
Thank you, Mr. Britt. Hello, everyone. My name is Connor Thorpen. I am usually a quiet person, so hearing my voice might be a surprise to most of you. Firstly, I would like to thank my parents for everything they have done to support me in this journey. I am honored to be your class of 2021 valedictorian. And on behalf of all of today's graduating Trojans, I would like to thank our families, our friends, and the amazing Kelly Walsh staff for their love and support over these last 4 years. My classmates and I share an immense appreciation for you all, and we recognize the time, energy, and attention you have invested in us. Because of you, we are all better students and better citizens than we were 4 years ago. From you, we have also gathered a collection of memories that will stay with us for the rest of our lives. Although not all of these memories may be good, I can assure you that they are all important. They remind us of the lessons we have learned, the friends we have made, the setbacks we have faced, and so much more. They define each of us as individuals, serving to represent who we really are in the eyes of those around us. I say this because now is the time for us to reflect on these memories. After 4 years of seeking out new experiences and carefully building relationships, high school is finally over, and it is our responsibility to keep these memories and friendships alive. Whether the next step is going to college, finding a job, or taking time off to relax and enjoy life, I urge every graduate here to find the time to connect with those who have made your academic career worthwhile. Go visit that relative you haven't seen since last year. Send a text to your old friend. Write a letter to your favorite teacher. Whoever it may be, please, try to reconnect. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you.
A couple of years ago at this ceremony, my first as the principal, I opened my speech talking about my failure during the first few days of school attempting the announcements after second block. It was a pretty funny situation that the principal struggled with how to wait for the beep, beep, boop on the intercom phone before talking and then realizing I should hold it down here like a microphone in order to not hear the weird feedback in my ear. I'm happy to report 2 years later that I've not only figured out how to use the intercom, I fancy myself as quite the witty comic, as you guys know, when I'm on the intercom. I mean, I know because the office staff is always giggling when I loudly hang up the receiver. And I'm sure that their laughter is quite sincere. Regardless, each year I will willingly relinquish the duties of reading announcements to student council reps after the first week of school. Okay, maybe willingly is too strong of a word for it. Let's say I ceremoniously bequeath the responsibility to the student council reps. Nope, in all reality, Mrs. Deacon is just tired of my dumb jokes, and she pries the intercom phone from my hands, whispers to the next student reader, "Please save us." So going back to that first year with the announcements, I felt the pressure at the end of my performance to have a closing line. In the back of my mind, I was reading that tomorrow's breakfast, or while I was reading that tomorrow's breakfast would be a magic green donut, cold cereal, toast, and diced peaches, I was struggling to find the right saying or catchphrase, so to speak, to close what was obviously the best announcements performance you guys had heard that year. So, what came to my mind was what I jokingly said to my own kids for several years every time they left the house, be it for a school activity, work, or to go to a friend's house. Make good choices! What came to my mind, I quickly added at the end. I hung up, I giggled to myself. My inside reference to the 3 boys that I had 3 years ago, or had graduated several years ago. Also, there was one girl attending Kelly Walsh at the time. I'm sure she wasn't rolling her eyes, but I went with it. So make good choices kind of lived on. The crazy thing is, in the spur of the moment, that closing comment did seem to catch on because Terry Kaufman, who was our secretary at the time, who typed up the announcements, added, "Remember, Trojans, make good choices" to the announcements template. When student readers took over the announcements reading role, they continued the new tradition. I know they continued because one of my favorite parts of my job is when a student is reading announcements, especially for the first time or two, I do everything in my power to try to get the reader to trip up. I mean, I really don't want them to sound too much better than I did on that little phone dealio, so I mess with them a little bit. I take pleasure in making faces, counting in non-sequence numbers, or just doing something as simple as asking them how their day is going while they're trying to read the announcements, and I can take them off their game. Raise your hand if you are one of my readers I messed with. Yep, sorry. Okay. I shouldn't have had that much pleasure in it, but I really did. But I realized this year that I neglected to provide the details of what I mean when I insisted that you guys make good choices and that it closes the show every day for the daily announcements. So please indulge me as I provide some examples of the good choices I'm hoping you make. Choose to be nice. Thank you, Mr. Diller. Choose to care. Choose to help. Choose the double-double animal-style cheeseburger with no tomatoes if you ever find yourself at an In-N-Out burger. Seriously, you will not regret that. Choose to take responsible risks. Choose to socialize with your friends and family with real love over collecting the likes on social media. Choose to wear green and white. Choose to make a difference. Choose to be confident without being cocky. Choose to stand up for your beliefs without trampling on the other beliefs of others. Choose to dream. Choose to take the steps and make the tough decisions to make those dreams come true. And choose to be proud to forever be a Kelly Walsh Trojan. And part of forever being a Kelly Walsh Trojan is the understanding of the pillars of excellence that are the foundation of our great school. Knowing that if you strive for excellence in academics, athletics, activities, and a very original and profound characteristic of acceptance, you have the best chance to graduate and to excel in your next steps after graduation. These 4 pillars are what built Kelly Walsh High School from its inception well before they were tiled into the entrance of our building. Kelly Walsh High School students continue to set the standard in these 4 areas, starting with academics. Last week during senior awards, I was in awe of the hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships awarded to our students, including a record 12 University of Wyoming Board of Trustees scholarship winners out of the 75 total awarded in the state. Our students who completed courses at Pathways Innovation Center earned several industry standard certificates and competitive awards. Our boys tennis team added a state championship to our school's stockpile of achievements, conference championships, and individual student athlete honors. Our Marine JROTC program, whose color guard you saw earlier this evening, truly embodies all 4 pillars. The color guard is performed for the governor and cannot fill the multitude of requests for ceremonies, and their rifle team is the best in the state and one of the tops in the nation. Our band, oh, our band, is simply the best in the land. Whether it is, yes, that's right. Whether it is garnering yet another superior rating at the Marching Band Festival, or as our pep band being the best student section in the state, they cannot be beat. And the acceptance pillar continued to be the glue that not only keeps KW together, but also makes the Trojans unique. On April 15th, live Rodstock returned to the Kelly Walsh Auditorium. To say it was different this year would be an understatement. We needed Rodstock. this year more than ever. In a year where political and philosophical differences divided like never before, our music festival swooped in with its talent, appreciation, understanding, and love to remind us what really matters, our immediate and extended Kelly Walsh family. We're all about to listen to 4 members of the Kelly Walsh class of 2021 explain their connection with the pillars of excellence in their educational journeys. The purpose is no secret. We as Trojans are all grounded in the foundation of these pillars, and we have all found our ways, possibly leaning on one pillar more than the other, but always knowing that all 4 are the foundation of excellence for our school. It is my great honor to invite to the stage Laura Hubersland, who will speak about her connection with the academic pillar of excellence.
Thank you, Mr. Britt. Good evening, class of 2021, and to all those here, whether in person or in spirit, in support of our graduating class. I want to start by thanking everyone that has made sacrifices to get us to this point. Your support doesn't go unnoticed, and to say we're grateful would be an understatement. Secondly, I would like to thank all the teachers and staff of Kelly Walsh for your endless support to get my classmates and I to today. Lastly, my congratulations to the class of 2021 on this major life accomplishment. As the mantra goes, it's not the bricks and concrete that made Kelly Walsh great, it's the people that show up here every day. I cannot thank you all enough for showing up each and every day, whether in person or on Google Meet, to make Kelly Walsh the great school that it is. We have been brought together today by one bonding thing: education. Going through school, I always thought that the most important lesson we would learn was the Pythagorean theorem, or the correct usage of commas. But looking back, school has taught me more life lessons than I ever realized. Albert Einstein once said, "Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school." And now, as every good English teacher has taught me how to do, let me tell you what this quote means to me. Although I no longer remember the formula for a Taylor series, sorry Spalding, I now have the ability to think outside the box when solving problems I have never seen before. I may not remember what exactly happened in the 30 Years' War. Please don't hate me, Mr. Schaefer. But I do have the capability to stop history from repeating itself. I may have already forgotten how to write a rhetorical analysis essay. Is it too soon, Miss Tips? But I now have the tools to articulate my ideas and values in any situation. I could go on, but we have to graduate at some point. The point is that we have learned many difficult things in school and studied for hours on end, but we will all forget the information at some point. The important thing is that none of us will forget the countless lessons our education has taught us beyond the actual content. Whether you plan on attending college or trade school, joining the military, or even on starting your life as soon as you leave here tonight, you can always find a way to apply the lessons you have learned to your future. When you stay up all night studying for that big test, remember that those sleepless nights will pay off just as the ones these past 4 years have for us today. When you spend long hours in the shop perfecting a single skill, remember the foundation that was built in the shops of Kelly Walsh. When it's easier to give up rather than do 1 more minute of drill and basic training, remember the discipline you learned by meeting the high standards of Kelly Walsh. When the work week drags on, remember the perseverance you learned while trying to get through those last classes when senioritis was stronger than ever. Although our high school education is coming to a close, my hope for you is that you never stop learning and applying the lessons from your time here. Learning doesn't require you to be in a classroom, but rather to apply KW's values of character, respect, integrity, and accountability, and the lessons will write themselves. No matter which path you're headed down, we all share this in common. We are Kelly Walsh. Please welcome Barrett Lloyd to speak about the athletics pillar.
We've all heard the saying that when you're a student athlete, the student comes first. But looking back at my 4 years as a Trojan, I think some of the most important lessons I've learned have come through my participation in athletics. I've learned that hard work and dedication pays off. Being a student athlete teaches commitment and discipline. It requires countless hours of practice and conditioning, balancing schoolwork and team commitments. It means sacrificing summers and school break to attend team camps and open gyms. In the 4 years we've been at Kelly Walsh, we've seen the benefits of that hard work. Kelly Walsh Athletics has become synonymous with success. We've won lots of rivalry games. We've earned back-to-back and 3-time state championships in women's and men's golf, respectively, 2 state basketball championships, a 3-peat for volleyball, a state championship in wrestling and men's track. Winning is fun. But I've also learned that sometimes hard work and dedication just aren't enough. Tough losses are inevitable in sports. This, by the way, is my least favorite lesson. Sometimes you give it your all, but you still come up short, whatever the reason. A bad call, a bad bounce, a season-ending injury, a single mistake. Adversity shows who you truly are. Are you going to be the type of player to hang your head and let a loss define you? Or will you use it as fuel? Fight through the disappointment and become even more determined to win the next time. I've learned to be coachable. Being a part of a team means being a part of something bigger than yourself. Sometimes your coach has a vision for your team's success that might be a little bit different from the vision that you have for yourself. Being coachable means being willing to take the instruction, advocate for yourself, but ultimately trust the process and embrace whatever role you're asked to play. To all the great coaches who make Kelly Walsh teams so successful, thank you. Thank you for believing in us, pushing us to be better, and helping us grow as athletes, but more importantly as human beings. I've learned that it's really great to have a cheering section. And here, I'm talking about our most loyal fans, our parents, our grandparents, friends and family who fill the stands at every game, home or away. You've washed lots of uniforms, made team dinners, supported our fundraisers, paid for camps and travel ball. But most importantly, you've encouraged us to do what we love. You've celebrated our victories and loved us up through disappointment and defeat. Which brings me to my last lesson. I've learned that it's not all about the wins and losses. I've been a part of state championship teams and teams that have barely won 2 games in an entire season. But some of my favorite sports memories have almost nothing to do with competition. On bus trips, playing games in the hotel room, what I cherish most are the friendships we've made along the way. I've learned that I'm my best self when I'm a part of a team. I love the community that I've found through athletics, and I'm grateful that we will always be a part of the Trojan family. As we look back on our careers as student athletes at Kelly Walsh High School, it's no mystery why athletics is one of the 4 pillars of our school. Tennis great, Billie Jean King said it best. Sports teaches you character. It teaches you to play by the rules. It teaches you to know what it feels like to win and lose. It teaches you about life. Trojan athletes, coaches, and fans, we are Kelly Walsh. Please welcome Emma Nicolason to speak about the activities pillar. The quality of a life is determined by its activities, Aristotle wrote. I've had a rich, varied, and at times tumultuous quality of life through my participation in Kelly Walsh activities, which has come to define who I am as a student and a person. The activities pillar at Kelly Walsh is more than a symbol of participation in extracurriculars. The pillar represents a willingness to serve others, explore interests, dedicate time to new people and uncomfortable ideas, and make the most of the resources offered. In the last 4 years, I was fortunate to have explored school programs that appeared to be polar opposites, but what I found was a unifying piece in all these activities: service through self-expression. Now, it took me years to understand this commonality because every group I joined since freshman year taught me something new and different. Finding intersections in Key Club, National Honors Society, Model UN, choir, tennis, speech and debate, and the Kelly Walsh musicals may seem impossible, but after a while, it became clear that there was a similar amount of dedication, self-expression, and service in each of them. This is especially true in the theater department and speech and debate programs at KDUB. While you would think speech and debate and a musical would be very different, in truth, they hold more similarities than any other activities I've participated in. I thought speech and debate was going to be wearing an uncomfortable suit while you argued politics louder than the other person. I thought musicals were going to be easy and put on in 2 months because really, how long does it take to memorize a couple songs and cry on stage? I underestimated the work, dedication, and effort that went into all of these activities. And now, it took time to recognize self-expression as a service in these activities, and recognize that the ways I express myself could teach, serve, and impact others. In the theater department, I learned about singing, acting, blocking movements, and directing. I learned what confidence actually is. In debate, I learned how to argue respectfully. I learned how to expose flaws and search for the truth, and yes, I did learn how to argue politics louder than someone while wearing a very uncomfortable suit. But despite everything that was going on, a universal message appeared from these two activities and the rest of the clubs I was a part of. No matter the activity or club, the end goal was self-expression as a service, be it singing, debating, acting, or writing a Key Club agenda on Mrs. Reed's board. And that perspective completely changed the way I saw my extracurriculars. I realized that our school's musicals and plays are as much for the community as they are for the actors, musicians, and technicians that put them on. Shows have messages and meanings that exist solely to be thrown at the audience, an audience that is never guaranteed to even appreciate the results. But students are able to express themselves, and the final point of that expression is service through entertainment or instruction for the community. And that's saying nothing about how students teach each other and themselves through the months of rehearsals. The idea of self-expression as a service became most poignant for me in speech and debate my junior and senior year. Our speech coach, Adrian Morstad-Wyatt, helped our team through an unsettling, chaotic period, and then came to me with the idea of using my voice to shed light on the problem of sexual harassment within the forensics community by using the topic in a speech piece. I've spent the last year writing, rehearsing, altering, and performing this piece. I also qualified for and will participate in nationals with it. Through the decision to confront uncomfortable facts and look through effort and the eyes of fellow citizens and other victims, and the support of Adrian Morstad-Wyatt and Cara Bandelos, KDUB's current and speech and debate coaches, I believe my self-expression in that piece served others through education and awareness of the issue. At Kelly Walsh, I have been fortunate to be surrounded by people like my speech and debate coaches.
other teachers, directors, and students who recognize that I truly hate being quiet. They've guided me to understand service through my self-expression and helped me realize that the time spent in any of Kelly Walsh's clubs or extracurriculars enhances student growth and helps others. Self-expression and service form the bedrock of the activities pillar at Kelly Walsh High School, and I am thankful for the ways I learned to understand this over the last 4 years. I am thankful for the staff and students who are driven to make our community better. Together, we are Kelly Walsh. Please welcome Seth Miller with the acceptance pillar speech.
Test, is this good? Over the course of my high school career, I've learned 3 things. You don't have to be a jerk to be cool, you don't need everyone to love you, and you don't make real and lasting friends by being fake. I promise all of you here tonight that if you can try to do these 3 things, you'll be a lot happier, and life will be a lot more enjoyable. Life is hard, but it's even harder when no one wants to be around you because you're rude, you're judgmental of others, or you're too concerned about fitting in. So tonight I wish to speak to all of you about one of the pillars that makes Kelly Walsh High School so unusual, the acceptance pillar, and how we can not only make the future of this country and community great, but how we can make a real, lifelong, lasting difference within ourselves and this country we have the privilege of living in. Now going back to the 3 points I made earlier, being a jerk to be cool is the complete opposite of acceptance and will get you nowhere in life. There was a time in my life, I was in middle school, so kind of stupid, when I wanted to be cool, and I was willing to sacrifice who I really was to become that unachievable standard of cool, until I realized that it would only help me succeed in becoming something that I didn't recognize. At that time in my life, again, it was middle school, so stupid. I was tired of being known as the tall albino kid in everything that I did. I wanted to be exceptional. What I learned from this experience is something that all of us should learn. In order to become accepting of others, you must first learn to accept who you are. Our time on earth is short and shouldn't be spent trying to become something we're not. For example, I was not a basketball player. Everyone who played with me can attest to that. I was uncoordinated and very awkward. And I was way too caught up with trying to fit in with the cool kids. And I saw how some of the cool kids treated some of my friends and others, and I decided that I didn't really want to be a part of that. I soon realized that the best way to be cool was to just be myself, even if other people didn't like it. Which brings me to my next point. You don't need everyone to love you, just a few good people. Over the course of high school, I came to the realization that I could make friends by just being me, and those who didn't accept me for who I was weren't my real friends. I learned that in order to become a better friend to all, I had to learn to accept those whom I deemed different. I came to learn that others are not weird, rather they were just different from me. During my freshman, sophomore, and junior years, I had no classes with my friends who were in what everyone used to call the Mormon Mafia. And so I was forced to either have no friends in any of my classes or to make new ones, and with people I probably wouldn't have associated with otherwise. Turns out the only thing weird was my judgment of others. When I finally sat down with them and talked to them, I realized that those people were just being themselves and that they were real with me. They chose to be one and only one version of themselves. And as a result, something within me changed. I became more accepting of others and respected them. I learned not to judge people before I even got to know them. This is something that I think we could all benefit from. When I think about this, I'm reminded of a quote that says, "You weren't called to be anyone else. You were called to be you." In other words, accept who you are, and you will come to learn that who you are is beautiful. And equally important, the same is true about others. Don't spend all your time on earth trying to fit in with or judging others. Just be real and just be you, and allow others to do the same. Which brings me to my final point. No one wants to be friends with someone who is fake. If there's more than one version of you, depending on who you're with, I would encourage you to get rid of those other versions of you. There is only one you. And the only way to become more accepting is to be real. Pretending never made anyone happy. It's just exhausting. If those who are cool won't accept you, that's not a bad thing, because someone inevitably will. And those are your real friends. Your real friends will be in your corner even if you don't deserve it. High school is hard. Fitting in is hard. But can we all agree that both those things would be a lot easier if people made more of an effort to be kind? All it takes is kindness. No one has the right to treat someone poorly. Everyone has the right to be accepted and to feel loved for who they are, and they should never feel pressure to change. We can all be a beacon of hope and light to others, if we choose to be. It's a choice to be kind, and it's a lifelong learning process. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am a massive geek of superheroes, so I had to have at least one quote like that in here. So this quote was said by Uncle Ben, Peter Parker's uncle from Spider-Man. He once said, I hope Darius appreciates this quote as well. Now, Uncle Ben once said, "With great power comes great responsibility." Our great power in this case is the power of choice. We have the responsibility to make decisions that could potentially affect someone in a negative or positive way. Now, I am by no means perfect when I say this, and I know that. I make mistakes, and I don't always use the power of choice responsibly, or choose to be kind or accepting, but I do my absolute best to try. It's not always easy, but it will always be worth it, and that's a promise. This pillar is why I love Kelly Walsh, and if there are any underclassmen here tonight, I implore you to choose to be kind. I implore you to embrace what the acceptance pillar stands for. It's Kelly Walsh, and we are Kelly Walsh. Thank you.
So before presenting this year's graduates, please join me in acknowledging our Kelly Walsh Trojan Connections together. Please stand and remain standing if you're a member of the class of 2021. That's you guys. Stay up, stay standing, guys. If you are in the crowd and you are able, and will you please stand if you are a past graduate of Kelly Walsh and join this group? Where are my past graduates? A lot of them. Please stay standing. Now, please stand if you are a staff member, friend, or family here supporting a graduate of Kelly Walsh High School. Get up, everybody. Standing proud since 1965, we are Kelly Walsh. Thank you. Now you may be seated. I think I need Board Chair Cavalier with me, please. Chairman Cavalier and members of the Board of Trustees, I am honored to present the Kelly Walsh class of 2021 and certify they have met the requirements for graduation.
Thank you, Principal Britt. Having been certified by Principal Britt as meeting all requirements for graduation by the authority vested in the Board of Trustees of Natrona County School District Number 1, I declare the members of the class of 2021 prepared to receive their diplomas. Will the graduates please come forward to accept their diplomas?
Hayden Marie Walsh.
Christopher Michael Neiswanger.
Ariana Rosa Horn.
Dante Stoner.
Gracie Garris.
Braden David Greth.
Kate Foster.
Gabe Velasquez.
Paige Hill.
Cole Thomas Wirtz.
Tiffany Crowder Rodriguez.
Gavin King Mancini.
Ainsley Belleville.
Caden Ray Klitsky.
Jackson Elliott Palmer.
Liddell Ezekiel Thompson.
Mabel Mackenzie Schrader.
Cyan Reilly.
Emery Lynn Roderick.
Stephen Christensen.
Trinity Celeste Martinez.
Parker Almares.
Abby Brianne Hicks.
Siope Pale Pale.
Peyton Robb.
Paxton Gakel.
Lynn Heyer.
Zach Schaff.
Chloe Christine Henry.
Gary Tong.
Brooke Nicole McKenna.
Connor Thorpin.
Bryn Ashley McKenna.
Josiah Roxfold.
Emma Elizabeth Henry.
Greg Tyson.
Kenya Varela.
Evan Juarez.
Chantel Pena.
Dakota Gabriel Small.
Victoria Ivalee Triplet.
Reese Corson.
Sierra Lynn Newport.
Darian Scott Franklin.
Elizabeth Oldfather.
Luis Gonzalez.
Emily Marie Steele.
Colton Atkinson.
Rachel Bradley.
Davin Camp.
Taylor Siplin.
Hayden Umbach.
Aubrey Holmberg.
Presley Bloom.
Delaney Neibauer.
Gage Ricevich.
Kira Gallinger.
Riley Dean Burkle.
Malia Harrington.
Zachary Miller.
Abigail Florence.
Talon Arthur Holtzman.
Sadie Minor.
Peyton Cornelius.
Julia Alexander.
Caden Stolt.
Sydney Steele.
Isaac Garr.
Anastasia Bolt.
Samuel Peter Michael Henderson.
Elizabeth Kalis.
Analu Benabisi.
Rosalba Diaz Hernandez.
Hawkins Kopp.
Fatima Diaz Hernandez.
Shane Donor.
Lizette Perez Gonzalez.
Trenton Atkins.
Diana Amaro.
Ashton Quick Marcus.
Hannah Cole Sentner.
Isaias Spillane.
Julia Borman.
Dominic Jar.
Haley Elliott.
Latrell Montgomery.
Brianne Red.
Reno Watson.
Isabella Cecily.
Camden Fugat.
Caroline Hansen.
Seth Miller.
Ashlyn Elise Glennon.
Adam Robert Carey.
Sydney Solis.
Buck Marshall Harris.
Lily Putnam.
Ashton Ryan Sunday.
Raquel Speth.
Slater Perry.
Bailey Sheik.
Nicholas Johnson.
Mackenzie Martini.
Colin Burrows.
Barrett Catherine Lloyd.
Caleb Cockrum.
Alyssa Raylyn DePorter.
Taryn Jackson Miller.
Melissa McIntyre.
Gage Porter.
Maya Altland.
Trenton Walker.
Samantha Bothier.
Dominic Gray.
Abby Boatman.
Corvin Kaufman.
Carla Perez.
Jordan Tharp.
Daniela Rosales.
Giovanni Solis Rodriguez.
Katie Code.
Caleb Kozlowski.
Riley Richenbach.
Ryan Larson.
Avery Delaney.
Ryan Means.
Jordan Delaney.
Ethan Burt.
Jordan Lake.
Matthew Fox.
Kendra Brower.
Wyatt James Brierly.
Mercedes Dawn Wood.
Chance Kaiser.
Ashley Jones.
Riley Hall.
Alyssa Corey.
Andrew Hurlbut.
Lindsay Grady.
Matthew Goodwin.
Skylar Kaiser.
James Culver.
Taylor Moore.
Tage Brauberger.
Brianna Warner.
Carter Mahoney.
Kylie Williams.
Braden Laugie.
Kaylee Reinsbach.
Bryce Muller.
Kylie Hartle.
Curtis Ryman.
Trinity May Lorelei Heaton.
Darius Michael Wiggins.
Michael Leal.
Veronica Hernandez.
Jaden Chu.
Peyton Howry.
Kyson Miller.
Ella Victoria Carasina.
Jacob Matthews.
Sarah Argueta.
It's his birthday, Simeon Forsman.
Abigail Cash.
Dylan Klein.
Audrey Johnson.
Seth Reynolds.
Emma Fiskus.
Corey Warren.
Delaney McFall.
Kyler Perry Stocks.
Alize Munoz.
Jack Dabney.
Nadia Martinez.
Mason Myers.
Clara Fullerton.
Ashton Grant Stuft.
Haley Seafay.
Jonah Gilbert.
Alexis Solsley.
Jack Thompson.
Chloe Brimmer.
Brock Shipman.
Aubriana Leonard.
Isaac Maciel.
Kylie Joe Paulson.
Caden Young.
Alexia Hoover.
Stephen Hill.
Rose Tran.
Mason Pindell.
Isabella De La Torre.
Bailey Flores.
Caitlin Lovell.
Solomon Pardo.
Kira Farr.
Jonas Armstrong.
Berlin Jane Lammers.
Sylvester Reese.
Sydney Freimeyer.
Jaden Schaefer.
Mackenzie Martinez.
Gage Ayala.
Rayleigh Russell.
Mason Deere.
Jennifer Guthrie.
Jonathan Carmona.
Rachel Chin Merchant.
Manning Johnson.
Haley Ruckle.
Josh Tuttle.
Caitlin Cook.
Ian Burns.
Tori Davis.
Devin Crump.
River Waldock.
Preston Olson.
Sarah Heward.
Mark Annis.
Hannah Weeder.
Hunter Hines.
Ariana Alice.
Zane Jones.
Kirsten Nicole King.
Jazz Lautenbaum.
Camden Ballard.
Eduardo Bettencourt.
Brianna Hensey.
Jesse McCormick.
Destiny Edwards.
Ernest Armstrong.
Mariah Ann Andrews.
Robert Matthew Goss.
Ashlyn Eads.
Aragon David Garrow.
Avery Urbach.
Tristan Mondock.
Ashley Brought.
Matthew Richmond.
Cody Weiss.
Damon Berryhill.
Brooke Mazzanti.
Adrian Talbot.
Serendipity Farrar.
Johnny Reyes Jr.
Sage Espinoza Robbins.
Alexander Jones.
Layla Arias.
Andrew Williams.
Aurora Tulak.
Corbin Murphy.
Brittany Bender.
Anthony Simmental.
Angela Kerr.
Alex Santisteban.
Mackenzie Marie Wallingford.
Jalen Matthews.
Carly Bacon.
Easton John Alleman.
Autumn Keister.
Nicholas Wendling.
Marissa Lorraine Collier.
Tegan Williams.
Hannah Baldwin.
Paul Nestorenko.
Aspen Sessler.
Lawrence Brewer.
Aniston Alexis Gomez.
Nicholas Wheeler.
Lexi McCullough.
Nicholas Williford.
Megan Manchego.
Luke Broderick.
Madison Mitchell.
Kaylin Keffer.
Mia Helms.
Benjamin Richards.
Hannah Larson.
Christopher Smith.
Jillian Faulkner.
Jace Karishi.
Kelly Heflin.
Joshua Gardner.
Cora Paulson.
Aaron Sherman.
Paige Nicole Asmus.
Samuel Joseph Cordova.
Nicole Wolf.
Ryan Onstad.
Jordan Klein.
Ethan Truby.
Sydney Shalene.
Carver Bray.
Rebecca Shane.
Talon Heron.
Emma Knifer.
Marcus Rodriguez.
Anna Burton.
Colton Vale.
Leah Miller.
Howard Goodrich.
Celia Nelson.
Joshua Beck.
Catherine Prochnow.
Nolan Waite.
Mazi Vlastos.
Kale Tex Yai.
Dasha Smirnova.
Maverick McIntyre.
Ariana Adami.
Seth Morgan.
Sierra Davis.
Brody Lloyd.
Kaylee Cook.
Carson Gilbar.
Octavia Samaria Edwards.
Colden Moore.
Melina Nunez.
Elijah Smith.
Lorena Francisco Garcia.
Luke Butte.
Giselle Gomez.
Jordan Heinrich.
Alexis Bernoulli.
Braden Lacey.
Megan Osborne.
Evan Corprich.
Kaylin Sell.
Ethan Bird.
Eva Haler.
Elias Green.
Michaela Fairbanks.
Ricardo Mendez.
Sarah Hockaday.
Justin Kwan.
Johanna Slaymaker.
Alexander Grant.
Dixie Jade Honeycutt.
Hunter Coleman.
Taya Garcia.
Nolan Berg.
Cassidy Thomas.
Elias Treviso.
Mary Spencer.
Mark Shepard.
Brittna Green.
Keith Marchant.
Sydney McAteer.
Jace Brown.
Lisa Quezada.
Perry Brown.
Yen Nguyen.
Brecken Robert Morrison.
Taylor Cole.
Owen Ingebretson.
Aaron Ramsey.
Caden Woods.
Emma Nicolason.
Charlize Winter Fitzinger.
Amanda Paddlestad.
Samantha Moline.
Bailey Heaster.
Isabella Ham.
Noelle Sidman.
Haley Brown.
Sarah Denton.
Sydney Conkler.
Alana Hart.
Kendall Collins.
Jessica Yang.
Deanna Llewellyn.
Natalie Asti.
Aiden McLennan.
Ureli Romero.
Sierra Hyde.
Lexus Swenson.
Taylor Coombs.
Caitlin Johansson.
Rayana DeLeon.
Ariana Plorine.
Laura Lee Hoversland.
Hope Lorraine Weddle.
May I please get Taryn Miller to read his one line that Taryn Miller has.
On behalf of the class of 2021, oh, please stand. On behalf of the class of 2021, I'd like to thank our student council sponsors, Mr. Ben Skank, Jolene Whitley, and Beth Williams. Would you please grasp the cap tassel and with me move it from the right to the left? It is my pleasure to present the class of 2021.